Hello, happy Monday, and welcome to a new reading vlog. No idea how long this vlog is going to be. Hopefully it's just 1 week long, but I'm very excited to be back vlogging again. This vlog is the start of a series of vlogs that I'm going to have on my channel throughout the rest of the year of me reading through my end of the year TBR, which I talked about in my last video. So I will link that video up here somewhere if you'd like to check out the top 10 books that I plan on finishing up before the end of 2021. As of yesterday, I have completed officially my Goodreads goal of 75 books. It is done. I did it. We did it, Joe. In my entire 24 years of life, never have I ever read 75 books in 1 year. Don't ask me what books I've read this year because I don't know. I have no idea what I've read. But the end of the year is approaching, which means that I need to figure out what my top 10 reads of the year were. So I'll figure it out. Your girl can ramble, so let's hop right into these books that I plan on reading throughout the week. I have a bunch, and knowing myself, I'm not going to finish all of these books. I have no idea why I continue to do this to myself, but I'm going to let you guys know what my plans are for reading this week. Starting with a book that I'm kind of forced to read. Here's some backstory. I am the tutor of these 3 young gymnastics, like 8th, 9th, and 10th grade that they're in. And so I'm in charge of their education. I don't know, crazy. But I teach them math, I teach them science, biology specifically. And then we also have like an English portion of the class. And so I've been assigning them different books to read, and we have discussions and they write essays, and it's like English class, right? This is our 3rd book that we're reading together. We've read 2 books already. It's been 1 middle grade. It's been 1 YA romance. They were able to choose those books, so whatever. But I came in and I was like, we're going to read a classic together. And so the classic that I picked was Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I never read this in my high school, college experience of English classes, but I've heard that this is one of the better classics. So since I'm able to choose the book for them, I didn't want to choose one that'll bore them to death, I guess. So Lord of the Flies is what I chose. I'm already behind on the reading that I assigned them. They're supposed to read up to chapter 6, which ends on page 95 of this copy, and I'm still on chapter 1. So I will be focused on this book today so that I'm showing up to my own class with the assigned reading completed if I'm expecting them to finish the reading too. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, I will be reading this book today and tomorrow so that I can finish this on time for class. But then once that's out of the way, I can get into books that I personally want to read that are on my end of the year TBR. The 2 books that I will be reading from my end of the year TBR are going to be White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson and Kingdom of the Curse by Kerri Maniscalco. You know, we all love to throw in a graphic novel, a short story, a novella, something or other into our reading plans for the week. And so I'm doing that as well. And the graphic novel that I'm throwing in this week, if I have time to read, it's not on my end of the year TBR, but why not just finish another book, you know? And that's going to be Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. Finally going to start this book. And I recently purchased this at a half price a book, and I talked about it in my Come Book Shopping With Me vlog that I did a couple months ago. So now I'm ready to pick this up and read this and explore this world and understand why everybody loves this series, this graphic novel series. So yes, these 4 books I plan on reading during the week. Lord of the Flies will not be completed this week because I only have to read up to chapter 6, but the other 3 books I do plan on finishing this week. I don't have too much of a heavy schedule in terms of school and work, so hopefully that means a lot of reading can get done. I'm feeling super excited now that I've met my Goodreads goal of 75 and I'm ready to get to 76, 77, all the way to hopefully 100. I did the calculations in my head, and from yesterday when I did the calculations, there was 47 days left in 2021. And if I wanted to read 25 more books, that means I would have to finish a book every 1.88 days. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but if I finish these 3 books this week, then that's basically finishing a book every other day, right? Because there's 7 days in a week. Finishing 3 books is like every other day, kind of. So I'll come back to you at the end of the week and tell you how I've done. I'm hopeful that I can complete this goal, but we shall see as this week goes along. So it is a Monday evening. I have finally gotten home from a Monday of working I had 2 groups of students to tutor today, and then I came home and I had a review session for my test that I have. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but my professor pushed it back to Friday. So I'm very happy that I have a couple more nights to study. So I came home and I went on to the store because I'm tired of not having any food in my house. So I went and got some food for the week. Hopefully that it lasts me throughout the week and everything. And now I am going to do my homework for my class and do some studying. And hopefully I'll have time to read some of Lord of the Flies tonight like I'm supposed to. But if not, then I'll have to wake up early tomorrow to finish up the pages of reading that I don't get done tonight. So I have a lot to do tonight, but that's not new. I always have a lot to do, and I got this. I can do it, and I'm ready. So yeah, let's get right on to studying, and I will talk to y'all later. Hello y'all, it is Tuesday afternoon. I literally have like 10 minutes before I need to be out the door and on my way to work, but I definitely wanted to come on here and say hi, happy Tuesday, and to tell y'all that I have caught up with the reading pages I'm supposed to do for Lord of the Flies with my students. Their assignment was to read up to chapter 6, and so I finally caught up because the girl was on chapter 1 and I was supposed to be on chapter 4, so it's all good. It's all done. I am not one to read classics like that unless it's assigned like for school or something. So this is kind of assigned, kind of like my own, because I did pick out this book for them and I meant for them to read a classic. So I guess this is something I chose. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about this one so far. It is overall a good story in comparison to other classics I've read throughout my educational career, but it's still not a book that I would just pick up because I'm like always interested in reading this book. Just the writing style was just so weird back then. And when was this book published? In 1954, when this book was published. At some points of the book, I have no idea what's going on, but then the next paragraph, I'll have all the idea of what's going on and can make connections to other parts of the book. I did not know that there was so much fat phobia in this book. So trigger warning for that. I'm so happy that in modern day, we don't have as much explicit fat phobia in our books. I mean, trust me, there are some books that I'm like, what are we doing here? Why is this line? Why is this character included in your book? Like, there was no need for that. But when I tell you on Lord of the Flies, there's like fat phobia on every other page, specifically regarding the one character named Piggy. Yes, his name is Piggy in the book. It kind of just throws me off. Like, why are we doing this? So while I do feel like this is one of the better classics I've read, I'm still left with a lot of confusion and boredom and ready to finish the bookdom, you know? But there are interesting parts of the story. I am enjoying the story overall, I guess, and I'm still very interested to see how these boys are going to be saved off of the island, if at all. I feel like something big is about to pop off, like somebody's gonna die or something. Like, I just have that feeling. They're stranded on a deserted island, like somebody has to die, even though, like, it's sad to say because these are children in this book, like 6 years old and stuff, but at the same time, this is a book set on a deserted island, so I mean, what more can we really expect? But anyways, I am very happy that I finished up my assigned reading for the week, because that means I don't have to read it again until like the weekend. So I have a couple of days of reading for myself where I can finally start either White Smoke or Kingdom of the Cursed. I have no idea which book I want to start first. Literally no idea. Like, part of me wants to start White Smoke and the other part of me wants to start Kingdom of the Cursed. So we'll find out together what book I end up picking first. But I do have to go and have this Lord of the Flies discussion with my students and teach some math and other things. And then I'm going to go on to the gym before my class starts at 6 p.m. So you probably won't hear from me again until this evening once I finished up all of my things for the day. But y'all best believe that tonight I am starting a book for myself, and I'm so excited. Sitting in my car in a parking lot, and of course somebody pulls up right next to me as I'm filming this clip. I don't really care if they peep that I'm talking to a camera right now, because that's just the kind of day I'm having. It's been a wild one, and all I want to do is read books, but I'm still working. I have one more client to tutor for the day, and then I can go home. But I do have class this evening. It's online, so I have to rush home, do my class online, and then I have to study for my test and read for class. So not too happy about that, because all I want to do is read White Smoke. Yes, this is the book that I ended up picking up last night, as you saw in my little clip there. And I did manage to read one chapter out of this book last night before I got really tired for some reason and went to bed instead of reading all night like I wanted to, but that's okay. I am loving the first chapter already. Like, it's giving me all the spooky vibes. Everything is being set up very nicely, and if I were this family, I would run. That's all I have to say. Mango's family has moved to this new town called Cedarville. They're a resident in some type of program, and this program runs for 3 years, and included in that residency is this free house to live, but they have like no neighbors. Like, the town is desolate. There is nobody living in this town. They have no neighbors. Everything around them has not been upkept. There's vines and tumbleweeds just flying across their front yard. There is nobody there. So I'm like, I would not be staying here. I would not sign that contract. I'd be like, you know what, thank you, but I think we're just gonna go take our chances somewhere else and pay some bills, because nothing free is worth the spooky vibes that this house is already giving. And that was all in like the first 20 pages or so. So I'm already knowing Tiffany D. Jackson is bringing another good book, because I already have a lot to say about it, a lot of thoughts on all of the different characters, and I'm enjoying my time reading it so far. So I do have about like 20 minutes before I have to go tutor my next client. So I'm definitely going to try to read a chapter or two before then. And hopefully I still have enough time to continue reading some of this book tonight before I go on to bed. Hello, happy Thursday. Today shall be a very exciting day for me, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Your girl is going to see Hamilton tonight at the Pantages Theater. Now, we know I'm obsessed with the musical Hamilton. I've already seen it once at the Pantages in 2017, and since its release on Disney Plus, I think in 2020, last year, I watched it maybe 7 times on there, but it doesn't hurt to go see it again at the Pantages in person. And first of all, my hands are very ashy. One second. I know better than to come on camera with ashy hands. Come on now. Okay, much better. My apologies. But yes, my sweet boyfriend surprised me with Hamilton tickets for my birthday, and today's the day that we're finally going to see the musical together. I am just absolutely hyped. It's finally here. We get to see Hamilton tonight, and I hope to get a couple of, vlog clips so I can insert that in later on in this video when I'm actually there, to show you a little bit of what my experience was seeing Hamilton, my absolutely favorite musical ever. This morning I had to get a bunch of school things done, so I had to submit a reflection on a reading that I was supposed to do this week, and when I tell you, I did not want to do that reading because I wanted to read White Smoke so bad, but it all worked out, and I'll tell you why in a second. And I still need to study for my test that's tomorrow. So don't know when that's going to happen. I'm going to do a little bit of studying right now before I have to go to work, and a little bit hopefully before Hamilton tonight. But yeah, that test is definitely coming up, and your girl hasn't really studied. I mean, we're ready, but we're not ready, you know? Yeah. I got my little flimsy bookmark here. You can see I have a lot of fun with it. I managed to read to chapter 7, page 103 last night. So I read like 70 or 80 pages last night. I literally could not put it down, but then I got tired and I looked at the time and I was like, you know what? I need to go to sleep because Hamilton is today and I need all the energy. So I went to sleep. An update on my feelings about this book so far is that it's still very spooky. I could not put this book down. I wanted to read it all night, and I had a nightmare last night. This book literally gave me a nightmare. So that should tell you all you need to know about what this book is doing for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite Tiffany D. Jackson book just quite yet, but we all know that she is queen of plot twist endings. So I'm very interested to see what that plot twist is going to be at the end. And all of my friends on Goodreads, they're like, it's the end for me. Like, it's the end. So I'm very excited to see what is going on here. But so far, it's not quite the 5 stars yet. But we'll see. Definitely a 4-star for me so far. But there's just some plot lines that I'm still confused about / don't really care for. But I'm already knowing that they're definitely going to play a role in the ending of this book. So I'm just sitting here being patient, waiting for the big reveal to happen so that I can come on here with my reaction on how I didn't see it coming, because I literally have no idea. I have no theory right now. It's just all very set up still. Like, it's the way that I'd rather read this book than study for my test, but I need to be a responsible student / a responsible adult and get the things I need to get done. But hopefully after Hamilton, when I get home tonight, I have some energy left to read some of White Smoke before I eventually go on to bed. So we'll see how this day goes. I'm just very hype and hyper and excited and looking forward to all of the festivities I have later on this evening. I hope y'all are having a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and I will talk to you guys after Hamilton. Okay, so I have not vlogged in a couple of days ever since I saw Hamilton on Thursday, and it is now Monday the next week. So that means I have quite a bunch of updates to give you guys. First, starting with Hamilton and how that experience was. It was, of course, amazing. Hamilton is my absolute favorite musical, and I'm so happy that I was able to see it again live. Of course, The Dream of Mine is still going to be able to see Hamilton with the OG cast, because nobody's going to beat the OG cast. Yes, all the actors that they had for this performance that I saw, they were amazing actors and actresses, and they had wonderful voices. But all I'm gonna say is that nobody is going to beat the OG cast. Call this an unpopular opinion, or if this is a popular opinion, like, I don't think Lin-Manuel is the best singer. So to me, anybody is a better Alexander Hamilton. My boyfriend, it was his first time seeing the musical and he absolutely loved it too. So happy that Hamilton has gained another fan, and now I can play the soundtrack in the car and he won't get mad at me. So love that for me. Another update would be that I finished White Smoke like a few minutes ago. I didn't really have any time to read over the weekend, so I am finishing up White Smoke tonight. And I think I'm gonna give the book either a 3.5 stars or a 4 stars. Still have all the love for Tiffany D. Jackson, but this was not my favorite book by her, honestly. It was an enjoyable read. Like, it definitely has the scary vibes, because This is Tiffany D. Jackson's first take into the horror genre. She made the vibes very spooky and mysterious and eerie, and she had all those vibes in the book. So definitely 5 out of 5 stars for that aspect of the book. I just don't understand why this family did not get out. I understand why they didn't, but I don't know. I would have made more of a ruckus as the main character to let my family and friends know that there's some real stuff going on about this house and we need to leave. The plot twist at the end, I don't know, it was good, but it wasn't as mind-blowing as I guess I was expecting coming from Tiffany D. Jackson. So that was kind of disappointing. Okay, I wasn't expecting the ending, but also I just didn't really fully love the ending as well. I'm definitely, of course, interested in reading more Tiffany D. Jackson books of the horror genre as she continues in her writing career. But this one just wasn't able to get the full 5 stars for me, but I would still recommend this book because of all of the eerie and spooky vibes that it had. And the story was pretty enjoyable. I loved Marigold and her younger brother Sammy in this book. Their relationship was so cute. I always love a good sibling relationship because I have a really good relationship with my siblings, and it's just so nice to see that good relationship being portrayed in books and in movies and TV shows and in media in general. And then Marigold and her stepsister, who's younger, Piper, they definitely butted heads, which kind of got annoying in some spots, but I understand that because, sisters tend to bump heads more than do a sister-brother type relationship. So it was all very relatable between the sibling relationships and the spooky, eerie vibes. This book did give me a nightmare at one point. I really did enjoy those 2 parts of the book the most. I'm probably going to do a more formal wrap up in the morning when it's not super late at night. I have more energy, better lighting, all that good stuff to close out this vlog. But I'm hoping to start Kingdom of the Curse tonight before I go to sleep. And then so I'll be able to in the morning give my initial thoughts from reading the first few pages, and then I'll continue on with that journey in the next vlog. But yeah, I'm super tired right now, so I'm going to get ready for bed and probably start reading a little bit of Kingdom of the Curse before I knock out. I do still need to read Lord of the Flies again because it's the next week, so I have a couple more chapters I need to read of that. So if I'm smart, I'll probably read that first before I read Kingdom of the Curse, but also knowing myself, I would probably choose Kingdom of the Curse over Lord of the Flies and then just be stressed about that tomorrow as well. So we'll see which decision I make once the morning comes and I do my formal wrap up. But yeah, finished a book. Hello everyone, it is the next day and I'm here to officially wrap up this vlog. I was supposed to have this vlog wrapped up earlier this morning, but then time just left me, and so here I am after tutoring, wrapping up this vlog for you guys as I have a few minutes before I need to go on to class. But to update you on what I did last night, it was nothing. I absolutely did nothing last night, did not start another book. And then this morning I had to do my reading for Lord of the Flies, the next number of pages for my class. So that's what I did this morning. So I caught up on that, but I have not yet started another book yet, but that will come to y'all in the next vlog after I finish this one up. I am just over the moon happy that I was able to finish a book this week, White Smoke, that I ended up giving a 3.5 stars. I officially did my Goodreads review this morning, so I'm sticking with that 3.5 stars. It wasn't my favorite Tiffany D. Jackson books, and this was her first venture into the horror genre. So I wasn't expecting the best horror book I've ever read, right? The ending was very abrupt and there was a lot of unresolved things. I know a lot of books end with a lot of unresolved things happening in the book, but I don't know, I feel like the unresolved things that happened in this book were just unnecessarily unresolved. We could have had a few more chapters or pages explaining what happened after this whole fiasco that happened at the end of the book. I just thought the whole haunted house thing was kind of obvious. Obviously your house is haunted. I did like the description of gentrification and the different social issues that were being discussed within the book. I thought those were done well. The prison system, the legalization, criminalization of marijuana, all these things are in the book. So I'm appreciative of that. But the main purpose of this book was that your house is haunted, like why are we still here? Like, you know, like I would have done a bit more and not blamed it on my past. Like I would have believed myself and tried to do a little bit more to prove to the people around me that my house is haunted and we need to leave like right now. So yeah, I decided on a 3.5 star rating for that one. And then audiobooks. I never told you guys what audiobook I listened to throughout the week. I listened to The Collective by Allison. I'm forgetting her last name right now, but I'll put up the photo right here of the book that I finished this week. I ended up giving that one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was very interesting. The Collective is a group of women who have all lost their children in a tragic way, and the people who are responsible for their children's death have never been criminalized for murdering their child. Like they've never been to jail, they didn't have to do anything. There was no punishment for the deeds that they did. So these group of women are coming together and they're doing a bunch of revenge things to get back at all of these people who killed their babies. So the idea was very creative, you know, similar to The Chain by Adrienne McKenty, but different. You know, of course, this time the children aren't being kidnapped, like they're dead, like they're gone. So that's the difference there. But it was very interesting. I was very intrigued on like this whole group of women who are trying to get revenge on their children's murders. But then our main character, like I wasn't really vibing with her. Like she was kind of too wishy-washy for me. Like at some point she was all down for the cause, and other times she was like, I'm not sure about this. I'm like, I wish she was on the same page like throughout the whole book. That would have been really nice. But I mean, the ending was pretty wild. Like I did not guess the ending. It kind of got me there, you know. I was like, oh, okay, did not see that coming. So I really appreciated that, and the whole idea of the book was very fun and unique to me. So I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Earlier in the week I had started the Ex-Hex on audiobook, and I literally could not get into that audiobook like at all. So I soft DNF'd that. Like I'm not listening to that. I refuse to. Now I'm listening to Kind of Cursed by, forgetting the author's name again, but I will put the picture here. I'm listening to that audiobook currently right now. Millie's family is cursed apparently. Like everybody in her family, all the women in her family get pregnant very, very early, whether they want to, plan to, or what have you. Like even if they're on birth control, like the birth control just never be working for the women in her family. They always have a whole bunch of babies early. So our main character, Millie, she is determined to like break this curse, or at least not have the curse hit her. So she swears that she's not gonna, you know, have any sex with anybody, because if you don't have sex then you can't have babies, right? But then her parents tragically die in like a boating accident, and so Millie is the sole guardian of her 3 younger siblings, so she has to take care of them. But of course there's a man that comes into play. His name is Luke. He's a construction worker. He's doing some work on their family home. Of course they're gonna fall in love, so we'll see how that goes in terms of the curse and what happens with that. But that is what I'm currently listening to, and it's pretty enjoyable. I'll probably give it a 3 stars. If y'all have any audiobook recommendations, like let me know, because I always need an audiobook, and the audiobooks I tend to listen to end up being like 3 or 4 stars, and I'm ready for a 5-star audiobook. So if you have any suggestions, leave them down below in the comment section for me, please. But yeah, I believe that is all of the updates I have for you guys. I'm excited to start another vlog, start some new books, so we're gonna end it here. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog and that you're looking forward to more vlogs from me coming very soon in your near future. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a big like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Make sure your notification bell is turned on so that you don't miss any more videos from me. Also down in the description box, we have all of my social media accounts if you would like to connect with me outside of YouTube. So I have my Goodreads, my Bookstagram, and my Twitter all down below for you to check out. And with that, I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.